Congratulations on Avengers Age of Ultron.
Thank you.
Because
It's done okay.
hey, last year I asked you about Alan Silvestri, and
Yeah.
you had a plan.
I did.
You politely listened to my concerns, and then you went way over them. So I'm gonna high five you right here.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah. The question as to, like, I remember we were talking about it. It's like, I always, my thing is I always want to bring in themes that were before me. And to me, to not have the Silvestri theme would have been a crime. And it unifies. I think it throws some nostalgia in there. It makes you feel like you've picked up where it left off. I mean, you can imagine Star Wars without that, or Harry Potter, or Rocky, or whatever. If you take that away, you're taking away that kind of DNA of the movie. So we had to do a lot of new music. I had to write a lot of new themes. There was a lot of new Avengers, Vision, and on and on and on. So that all had to be there. But it was cool to harken back.
Were you concerned about pulling that all together, which you did do well?
Thank you.
But I was watching it. I watched it 3 times, and I thought, wow, he had a lot to do. How did you?
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, the 2 of them were easy because they were my previous. Well, more than 2. The Thor themes and the Iron Man themes, and then at one point Loki was in the movie, which is Loki's theme that I'd written. That was in there as well. So we kind of established that, but then you needed a new relationship theme for Natasha and the Hulk, which was really important because there's a romance angle to the whole movie. You got Ultron, which needed to be done, and there was kind of a thing with Ultron that was like, you needed to have something that was, you were scared of him, and you felt the threat of a villain, but at the same time you needed to laugh with him because he was a snarky bastard, and he'd apologize after he chops Ulysses' claws hand off, sorry, and like that kind of thing. So I think with that stuff, you really, you have to be cognizant of it. And then you have, of course, Pietro, Quicksilver, his character, and Scarlet Witch and their relationship. And to me, like maybe the most important new Avenger, which is Vision. So all those things. I mean, you're talking about how many characters? I don't even know off the top of my head, but it's a lot of characters, and they all have themes. And I didn't even mention Captain America or Hawkeye, or and so then you also had the theme for the Sokovian people, and then you had it's like on and on. And there was kind of the thing for South Africa and those scenes, and then the Hulkbuster and. So it was a challenge, but I think hopefully it kind of, and it is, as Kriss was saying in the panel, is that the movies, they're always working on the movies. Marvel movies are always they're creating scenes to the very last. So you need to really kind of keep on bobbing and weaving. And on Avengers, it's such a massive task.
Did you have to deal with that kind of shit? Because remember that came up with Guardians of the Galaxy when Mr. Bates had to deal with that.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, you have to. Stuff's changing, so you just have to go with the flow, But I'm glad with what we came up with.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have Age of Ultron, you have Thor the Dark World, you have Iron Man 3, Infinity Wars?
Oh, Infinity Wars.
You seem to be like, you did like make
I've done. I know I've done 6 Marvel projects in 2 years or something, or 3 years, because there's also like the Assembling a Universe, which is the documentary, and I did that, and then there was the short with they continued on. It was like between Iron Man 3 and Avengers that they did with Ben Kingsley, and so I did that, and then so there's all these different things, but and of course there's a new Thor movie coming, and there's also it's like they really got their slate like very carefully planned in terms of what it is, and musically we'll see where it goes. I love working with Marvel, so whenever they want to have me, I'm cool. I'm down.
When you're supporting a film like versus supporting a film like Into the Storm or Expendables 3, for you, which one of those is more fun to work with?
Well,
because I feel like are there tiers to support?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's fun. I'm doing a drama right now. It's a political thriller. Robert Redford playing Dan Rather, and it's like it's Iraq War, and they're investigating George Bush and some shenanigans that were going on, and all this. So that's totally different. And to me, that's like not. It's like the movie isn't. I guess like it's not a popcorn movie.
Tell us the name of that.
It's called Truth.
Truth.
It comes out like November.
Is that about the weapons of mass destruction?
It's about it's the investigation. It's like there's Abu Ghraib, Mary Mapes, Kate Blanchett plays her, and this is like journalists investigating Bush. Basically, is kind of what it is, and it has to do with him in the National Guard service. Did he cheat his way into the, you know what I mean? And so that's like it's not a popcorn movie. But it's really fun to score, and it's a fun movie to watch too. Like it's just very suspenseful and awesome. But at the same time, it's a different vibe. So I think the fun, like Expendables or Fast and Furious or Avengers or whatever, these are all so different that they're fun in a different way. And if I was only doing one kind of movie, like I only did movies about cars or Expendables or storms or superheroes, I think that's where we get kind of like, I don't know. But as long as you can split it up, mix it up, then it's great. My preferred Marvel superhero. To me, I have a soft spot for Thor because it's kind of like the thing, if you get asked how many, the genie in the bottle, and they say, how many wishes do you want? And you say, well, I want 1,000 wishes, and you only get 3, but I get 1,000. So Thor is kind of like the Superman of the Marvel, because I'm not even sure what the limits of his powers are, and I just think it would be awesome to be that. And I think he's very funny, and he's self-deprecating. I mean, of course, Tony Stark's awesome, and of the new characters, I really love Vision, just because he's a complete question mark, and I think that's really cool. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. They're all awesome.
Jamie from the Marvel Database.
Yes.
You seem genuinely passionate about this particular genre, local characters. It seems you're very enthused.
Yeah.
What IP would you love to touch that you haven't been given a chance to? Not just superheroes, anything. Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. I mean, oh man, it's hard not to think of things like Star Wars.
James Bond.
Yeah, James Bond would be awesome. We talk about James Bond all the time.
That would be cool.
Yeah. It's. I mean, there's been a few where, like, I actually did think, well, that would be cool, and I ended up somehow landing in them. That's very strange. I mean, definitely the Marvel. I mean, I grew up with their comics and the whole thing. I remember doing Star Trek Enterprise back in the day. Huge Trekker as well. But
There we go.
Wait, Trekker or Trekkie?
Trekker.
I'm Trekker.
Trekker.
Everyone chooses their own.
Trekker.
I said Trekker. But I mean, like, I'm hardcore with that. Like, we're talking Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, TNG, Classic, the cartoons. But that would be amazing too. Yeah. And there's a lot. There's also some Marvel properties and DC ones that haven't. We'll see. They haven't necessarily been done yet. They would be nice to see done.
That's not an announcement you're making, right?
No. Yeah. And there's a lot of cool stuff out there. We'll see. I grew up with turtles too, so I like that. It was a fun thing. But then James Wan, the director of Furious 7, is doing Aquaman, and that looks really interesting. And my buddy Alex Kurtzman is directing The Mummy. It's a really interesting take on it. And he's here. I just saw him running around, and we did Eagle Eye together and Sleepy Hollow and all that stuff. But if this guy's also, it's hard to say. Like, there's things that have come and gone that are iconic too. But who knows? There's always reboots. Sure.
My question, it kind of goes back to the beginning, but the very fact that this panel exists kind of speaks to the fact that we're in like the golden age of superhero movies and TV shows.
Right.
As a composer, I mean, every superhero has to have his own unique sounding theme, but then there's like, the Avengers or Justice League where they kind of have to work together.
Right, team themes.
Is that daunting as a composer? Is it exciting to have like all this competition and like?
I think it's cool. I mean, the idea that the Avengers spawned in a way of like, let's put them all in one movie was such a. I mean, now we look back and go, of course, but I mean, it was so novel, and it's such a. It like takes it to another level. Literally, I remember watching the first one, thinking, "Whoa, this is crazy. This is like." Even though they're in the same universe, you're so not used to seeing major stars from 2, 3, 4 different major movies in the same movie. in a way that would be like, Kenobi hanging out with Picard or something. You're like, wow, this is so cool. They're talking, and because like Thor was such like a otherworldly character, he's a god, like off in Asgard and all this, and then you have Tony Stark, who's basically like an inventor, billionaire, James Bondy kind of playboy, and so to see them in the same frame fighting it out in the forest, I was like, this is amazing, and so to me, I think it's just a kind of an extra layer of cool factor of just having fun with it. And musically, we get to do that too. The fact that I ended up scoring Avengers was pretty crazy, and being able to use all those different themes and work with them, I had a ball with it. No question.
I gotta ask about the Marvel theme.
Yeah.
How did that come about? And because you created the signature for Marvel.
It's crazy. The Marvel theme, the logo, that came about. I remember exactly what it was. I was writing Thor, and Kevin Feige from Marvel, it's like, let's have a talk. I was like, whoa, what's this going to be about? So we were like trying to find a spot to just. He wanted to surprise me. Everyone knew there that he was going to ask me to do it, except me. And everyone was like, it was like a surprise party. And I remember he took me into at Marvel, the little kitchen area. He was like, how would you like to write? And he asked, and it's like, yes, let's do it. And that's just literally was like, okay, I'm going to go start writing. And they showed me like the visual and the things spinning around and the comic book pages. And we recorded it at the London Philharmonic and Abbey Road. And now it's there. It's like, it's one of those things that feels really permanent. When it's like a big responsibility because it's like there and it plays. And so.
Did you have something in mind immediately? Because sometimes.
No, I didn't. I actually ended up going back, and that took a bit to write. That took something because it had to be. It's funny. It's the shortest thing I've ever written. But it had to be really like right off the bat something that speaks to what Marvel's all about, and also is really memorable. So when it comes up, and you're like. You have your iPhone and the key, and to like turn it off, and key in and get the popcorn out. I mean, that was the idea. It's like the idea of like audience. Here comes the movie.
Brilliant job.
Thanks. It was fun.
Thank you.